Hi everyone, welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day and day 11 of Vegan November. And so for breakfast yesterday morning I made some peanut butter granola with banana frozen yogurt. I first preheated my oven to 160 degrees Celsius, and for this I first added 3 cups of oats, 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil and 3 tablespoons of maple syrup into a large mixing bowl, and then I gave that a good mix together. I next added in half a cup of smooth peanut butter, half a cup of peanuts and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I stirred that through again really well, and then I tipped that out onto a lined baking tray and spread it out evenly. Then I placed that in the oven to bake for around 20 minutes, but I just gave it a quick turn halfway through. I then took it out of the oven, left it to cool down, and then I transferred that to a container, placed 1 portion in a bowl, and then over in my food processor I added 1 frozen chopped banana with half a cup of almond milk, and I blended that up until it was smooth. It's basically melted ice cream, but it's like a thick frozen yogurt. And then I just poured that into the bowl too, and then I decided to add a little bit more granola on top. You could even chop up the nuts if you like for this. As I said, I use smooth peanut butter, so I kept the peanuts whole so it makes it a bit crunchier. You could also use crunchy peanut butter too. This is honestly so good. I know so many of you have tried my winter granola and have really loved it, so definitely give this one a try too. And the frozen banana yogurt works so well with this, but you could also serve it with any plant-based milk and even some fresh berries on top. For a mid-morning snack, I just had some apple wedges with orange spice choc shot. I simply just sliced up 1 apple, and then I took some orange spice choc shot and I squeezed that into a pot. And then I placed the apple slices in a dish, and then I just dipped the apple wedges into the choc shot. You know how much I love the original choc shot. It's basically a liquid chocolate, but it's made with all natural ingredients. I love making hot chocolate with it and adding it onto desserts, but this flavour is the orange spice flavour. As I said, it tastes just like orange chocolate and it is so good. If you haven't tried this yet, you need to, I promise. It's the most amazing thing. For lunch I had a baked sweet potato with cheesy 3-bean chili. I first put my oven on to 200 degrees Celsius, and then I just took a large sweet potato and I pricked it with a knife. Then I placed that in the oven for around 35 to 40 minutes to cook. In that time I took some of my 3-bean chili that I had in the freezer and I heated that up in a small pan on a medium heat. To give it more flavour I added in a splash of vegan Worcester sauce, and then to make it a cheesy chili I added in 5 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, then gave that a really good stir. Once the potato was done I removed it from the oven and placed it in a dish. I then cut a cross in the top just to open it up, and then I added the chili on top of it with some more nutritional yeast, and I had also chopped up 3 spring onions, so I then added those on top, and lastly some red chili flakes. I'll link to my original 3-bean chili in the description box below. If you don't fancy making the cheesy version, you can just omit the nutritional yeast, and it's just great for all sorts. I love having it with rice or on baked potatoes like this, with nachos, on fries, with guacamole, salsa and vegan sour cream. It's just so versatile, and I always keep batches of this in my freezer for quick and easy dinners and lunches like this. For an afternoon snack I had some blue corn chips with tomato and red onion salsa. For the salsa I just chopped up 1 small tomato, a quarter of a red onion, a small bunch of fresh parsley and 2 small pickled jalapenos. I then mixed that together in a bowl with a tablespoon of lemon juice, and then I took a large handful of blue corn chips, laid them out on a plate, and then I topped them with the salsa. Again, it was just another quick and easy snack. Chips and salsa is always going to be a favourite of mine. And I've talked about these blue corn chips before. They're delicious. Blue corn is actually higher in protein than regular corn, and they honestly taste no different. They're still really nice and crunchy and work great with dips. I have mentioned it recently, but I will link again to my original recipe where I used these to make some low loaded nachos. For dinner I made some spicy tomato and spinach pasta. I first made my spicy tomato sauce by chopping up 1 white onion, and I added that to a pan on a medium heat with 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and I cooked those off until soft. I then minced in 3 cloves of garlic and fried that off too. I next added in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, fried that off as well, and then I added in 1 tablespoon of dried basil. I then finally chopped up 1 small red chilli and added that to the pan, and I next took 3 large tomatoes, chopped those up, and then they also got added in. I mixed them in well, and then I also added in 1 cup of hot water and seasoned it with salt and black pepper. I left that to simmer for around 20 minutes, and then just before it was done I cooked some pasta. I used 2 cups of whole wheat fusilli, and then when that was cooked I drained it off and then added the sauce to the large pan, added in 1 large handful of fresh spinach and stirred that through until it began to wilt. Then I added the pasta back in, gave it another good mix together, and then I served that up between 2 dishes, and I lastly topped it with some fresh basil. If you're not a fan of spicy sauces, then I will link to my marinara sauce in the description box below, which can be used for so many things. I use it for spaghetti bologneses, lasagnas, pasta bakes, but this one with the added chili obviously just has more of a kick to it. It just makes for a really quick and easy dinner, which I think is really affordable too. You guys are always asking me for simple and cheap dinner ideas, and this is definitely one that I go back to time and time again if I just want to whip up something in under 30 minutes and with things that I can always find in my kitchen cupboard and fridge, yet it's still so delicious, flavourful and really filling. For dessert I made some warm turmeric milk. For this I just heated up a cup of almond milk on a low heat in a small pan. Once it was warm I then added in 1 teaspoon of maple syrup, half a teaspoon of turmeric, 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 of a teaspoon of ginger, a small grating of nutmeg, and I gave it a really good stir, and then I poured that into a cup. I then also took a cinnamon stick and I almost used that to just stir it all together. Turmeric is one of my all-time favourite spices. It has incredible healing properties and it's really high in antioxidants. This is again just such a comforting, warming winter drink, but it's also really sweet and just so delicious. And that is it for another day on my plate of Vegan November. I really hope you enjoyed this. All of the recipes will be in the description box below for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!